Hello and welcome to tonight's story. It's time to unwind, relax, and let the worries of the day drift away. As you settle into your bed, feel free to close your eyes and let the gentle rhythm of my voice guide you into a peaceful slumber. Tonight's tale is one of adventure, loyalty, and the beautiful bonds of friendship. It's the story of a courageous dog who, though lost, found not only his way home, but also a purpose and new friends along the way. Take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled by the edge of an expansive forest, there lived a lively golden retriever named Max. Max was no ordinary dog. He had an uncanny knack for sensing people's emotions and lifting their spirits with his wagging tail and warm, soulful eyes. He belonged to a kind-hearted young woman named Clara, who worked as a nurse at the local hospital. Clara and Max shared a special bond, one built on trust, love, and countless memories. Every morning, Max would accompany Clara to the edge of the forest as she headed to work. He'd sit there, watching her until she disappeared from view, and then spend his day exploring the village, playing with the children, and greeting the shopkeepers. In the evenings, he'd race back to the forest's edge to meet Clara and walk her home. One crisp autumn day, however, fate had a different plan for Max. As Clara waved goodbye and disappeared down the road, Max's keen ears picked up a faint, distressed whimper coming from the forest. Intrigued and concerned, he ventured into the woods to investigate. The sounds grew louder, leading him deeper into the labyrinth of towering trees and rustling leaves. Before he realized it, Max had strayed far from the familiar path. He found the source of the sound, a tiny trembling fox kit, its leg caught in a cruel snare. Max approached cautiously, his gentle demeanor soothing the frightened creature. With a few determined tugs, Max managed to loosen the trap, freeing the little fox. The kit nuzzled Max in gratitude before darting off into the underbrush. But now, Max faced a problem of his own. He had no idea how to get back home. As night fell, the forest transformed into a realm of shadows and unfamiliar sounds. Max pressed on, his instincts guiding him through the dark. Along the way, he encountered a wise old owl named Oliver perched on a low branch. Oliver's feathers were a patchwork of whites and greys, and his eyes glowed like amber lanterns in the night. "You're far from home, aren't you, young one?" Oliver hooted softly. Max barked in agreement, his tail wagging hopefully. "Follow the stream," the owl advised. "It will lead you to a clearing where you might find help. But be cautious. The forest holds both friends and dangers." Grateful for the guidance, Max trotted alongside the babbling stream. The moonlight danced on the water's surface, illuminating his path. Hours later, he reached the clearing that Oliver had mentioned. There, he met a scrappy raccoon named Rosie and a timid deer fawn named Finn. Rosie was skeptical of Max at first, her sharp eyes watching his every move, but Finn's gentle nature won her over. Together, the unlikely trio formed a bond as they worked to navigate the forest. Rosie's cleverness and Finn's knowledge of the terrain complemented Max's determination and loyalty. They shared stories under the stars, finding solace in each other's company. Their journey was not without its challenges. One rainy night, the group found shelter in an old hollow tree. The sound of raindrops tapping against the bark was soothing, but the howls of distant wolves kept them alert. Max stayed vigilant, his ears twitching at every noise. As dawn broke, the rain ceased, leaving the forest glistening with dewdrops. The trio resumed their trek, energized by the beauty around them. One evening, as they approached a serene meadow, they stumbled upon an abandoned human campsite. Tattered tents and scattered belongings hinted at a hasty departure. Among the items, Max found a small stuffed animal, its fur worn but intact. The scent of a child lingered on it, tugging at Max's instincts. Rosie speculated the family might have left in a storm, leaving behind their belongings. The sight deepened Max's longing for Clara, reminding him of the comfort of home. Days turned into nights, and Max began to doubt if he'd ever find his way back to Clara. But then, something extraordinary happened. One afternoon, as the trio wandered through a sunlit glade, they heard a cry for help. It was a hiker who had slipped down a rocky slope and was trapped beneath a fallen branch. The man's leg was injured, and he couldn't move. Max's instincts kicked in. He barked loudly, signaling for Rosie and Finn to assist. Rosie scampered around, finding sturdy sticks to create a makeshift lever, while Finn used his strength to help Max lift the branch just enough for the hiker to free himself. Though shaken, the man managed to sit up and thank them, his eyes filled with disbelief and gratitude. But Max wasn't done. The hiker needed more help than they could provide. Max grasped a piece of the man's torn backpack strap in his teeth and raced through the forest, his heart pounding. Guided by a newfound determination, he found his way to a trail where another group of hikers was passing through. With a series of urgent barks and nudges, he convinced them to follow him back to the injured man. Thanks to Max's bravery and quick thinking, the man was safely carried out of the forest. One of the hikers recognized Max from Clara's descriptions and promised to reunite them. The group's reunion was not without its emotional twists. Max had grown fond of Rosie and Finn, and saying goodbye was bittersweet. The trio shared a quiet moment at the forest's edge, their unspoken bond a testament to the strength of their friendship. That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Max's ears perked up at a familiar sound, Clara's voice calling his name. He bolted toward her, his tail wagging furiously. Clara dropped to her knees, wrapping her arms around him as tears streamed down her face. "Oh, Max," she whispered, her voice trembling with relief. "I missed you so much." The villagers celebrated Max's return, hailing him as a hero for saving the hiker. Rosie and Finn watched from the edge of the forest, knowing their paths might not cross again, but grateful for the time they had shared. As Max settled into his bed that night, surrounded by warmth and love, he felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had faced the unknown, found friends in unlikely places, and made a difference. In the days that followed, Clara often brought Max back to the forest edge. Together, they left little offerings of food for Rosie and Finn, a gesture of gratitude and remembrance. Max's adventures became legendary in the village, inspiring tales of courage, loyalty, and the magic of unexpected friendships. Max, though happy to be home, never forgot the bonds he formed in the forest. Sometimes, on quiet nights, he would sit by the window and gaze toward the trees, his heart warmed by the memories of Rosie's clever antics and Finn's gentle support. Clara, too, found herself drawn to the forest, planting wildflowers at its edge in honor of the friendships that had guided Max home. From that day on, Max's story became a cherished tale in the village, a reminder that even when we lose our way, the journey can lead us to incredible discoveries and connections. Thank you for listening to tonight's story. I hope it brought you comfort, and maybe even a touch of inspiration. If you enjoyed this tale and would like to hear more, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more stories to soothe your mind and spirit. Until next time, sleep well and dream sweetly. Good night.